Hey, you guys, welcome to Staying Awake. I am doing my best to stay awake. I mean that literally and literally as in I wake up a bunch at night, and literally as in I'm trying to keep ground under my feet and perspective. Reed is doing really well, and Alex is doing really well, and we're hoping to get this little munchkin home in the next week or so. But I want to jump right in and talk to you about the content that I want to bring forth today, and that is around being deserving. So I know we talked on our conference call around what we'd like and what we feel lack around. Well, Sabre and I had a session today, and what came up is this feeling of like the things that we want that aren't showing up. A good question to ask ourselves is, do we feel like we deserve it? That was a question posed to me by a girlfriend of mine the other day. I was explaining to her that I feel like I have experienced a lack around money for a long time. And the interesting thing is, when I was in the corporate world, I was a single woman making a shit ton of money for a little punk like myself. And even back then, my girlfriend told me that I would like show up to dinner and say I just ate, and so I'm not going to eat anymore, or I'm not going to buy dinner because I just ate. And so the feeling that came up for me is maybe it's not a money thing. It's about the feeling of deserving, feeling worthy of something. This may seem like something not big at all, but it was such an aha moment for me. So a girlfriend of mine served me this really amazing, decadent tea at her house. And she served it with coconut milk, and it's made with turmeric and all of these amazing Indian spices. And I tried it and was like, oh my gosh, I have to go to the store and get that. Well, I got to the store and saw that it was $17. And I stood in front of it for a good long while and decided it wasn't worth it, or I wasn't worth it, is a better way to put it. And I didn't buy it. And Alex stood there next to me. He's like, Mom, why aren't you buying this tea? And I was like, Al, it's just too expensive. And so while I was in the hospital for a month, this same girlfriend that served me the tea bought me the tea. And I drank it while I was in the hospital. And every time I drank it, I know I sound silly, but I felt like a queen. I felt abundant, and I felt worthy, and I felt like more worthy drinking something that was so indulgent. And I felt this way around other things too. Someone bought me a diffuser, and when I diffuse the room that I'm sitting in with like lavender or orange or lemon, there's something about it that makes me feel abundant. And it's not something I would have purchased for myself. Somebody else purchased it for me. And so I think it's a worthwhile question to ask ourselves. Do we feel deserving of the things that are not coming to us, that we feel lack around? So I'm going to keep this super short and sweet. I want to ask you to go back to our conversation last week that we had. Those of you that felt lack around money, or lack around being seen, or lack of our voice being heard. Do we feel worthy and deserving of having a voice, of having money, of being seen? So sit down and write out, I'll make this clear as I post this, the directions. But I want you to write out your belief system, again, around the thing that you want. I feel, let me a second. Hasn't quite come to me yet. I'm going to leave this just as it is. I'm going to sit with it for a little bit longer, and I'm going to write out the directions when I post this so that you'll know exactly what to do. But just feel into your worthiness of having the thing that feels missing from your life. Or, you know, for me, it feels like it's abundance. I'm going to need to feel into this more. I've been kind of like stifled and stuttering around this one for a couple of days. This girlfriend that bought me the tea is actually in the next room waiting for me, so I'm going to have this conversation with her. And maybe I'll even do this video again. We'll have to see. But feel into that. All right, ladies. Talk soon.